Hello, welcome to How to Be Human. And for those of you who watched the last video or have been following me for a while, welcome back. And let's get on with our topic about the ego. In the last video, we learned that our ego is basically a security program that we developed as children to ensure our survival. However, parts of this security program can become obsolete with us becoming adults and being able to fully take care of ourselves. Commonly, that's when these once important parts of ourselves turn into major blocks or even hindrances in our life. By the time we have become grown-ups, we have used and fine-tuned this program so often, and we have become so used to our ego that we come to believe that we are the ego and thus hand most, if not all, of our power over to this quite fearful part of us. With time, it rarely occurs to us that there is still so much more to us than that we could and actually should change this old inner program for our own good. So working on and with the ego can have a lot of benefits, but gaining these benefits comes with a price. We have to face our fears and inner wounds and go through that pain again. This can be pretty scary, and that's why most people rather avoid facing this part of themselves, or only do it if everything else has become even more unbearable. Unfortunately, this strategy of avoidance, though understandable, cuts us off from still dormant powers and our spiritual growth. One way to overcome that fear and muster up the necessary courage to start this part of our growth journey of getting our power back can be a change of the way we look at the ego, or even better, at the being who created the ego. And yes, that's you. You as a little kid did the best you could to make sure you didn't get kicked out of the tribe, which would have been a death sentence back in the days. You developed that security program with what you had and what you found that worked. These patterns are usually pretty obvious if you had a challenging childhood, but even if you had a happy childhood, you develop patterns to make sure you're safe and it stayed that way. So instead of simply seeing the fears we'd have to face if we're about to change our security program, which so far has helped us survive, we can see ourselves as that little kid being brave and creative enough to make sure you'd live to become an adult. However, now it is time to relieve that little kid from its duty of keeping you safe. That's your job now, and that means evaluating your ego program and changing what you no longer need. So look closely at your ego, identify the different parts, and find out what caused you to develop this program. As said, this can be really scary, and it takes being completely honest with yourself. But if you consider that underneath all of that fear and pain is just a little kid that's vastly overwhelmed by taking care of the adult you can activate strengths such as compassion, courage, or your protection instinct, which help you face that part of yourself and bring light to the parts that have been hidden in the dark for so long. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this video gave you a little bit a different insight on the ego. Please like, share and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time because we're not quite done with the topic yet. And until then, lots of love and light from my heart to yours. See you then.